This is the Random Scrub Heap Podcast.
Yeah, the Negroes are back. Welcome back to week 2 of the Kang Gang takeover of the damn, why I keep talking about that shit. Of the Random Scrub Heap Podcast. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by 2 members of the Kang Gang. Starting with my boy Kang Kendall. Kendall, how you doing today, brother?
Brother, I am good because I am black and I get paid tomorrow.
Right on. I got paid today, so today is a wonderful day. Kang Threat pulling up again one time for the one time. How you doing today, brother?
Pulling up a career high. 2 appearances on the network for the season. I am in my bag, as I like to say. It's going good. You know, Pat Riley slammed at an all-time high. Miami Heat front office slammed at an all-time high. Disgruntled fans at an all-time high. This is where the basement thrives. We thrive in negativity. So, hey, we off to a great start.
For sure. So before we get to the negativity on the Miami Heat, let's get into some negativity about what's currently happening in the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics are on their way to a sweep of a team like with a player that a lot of us view very highly, but in some ways, like I think there's an unmasking going on. Like Luka is a phenomenal offensive talent, but I think like the way he carries himself, the way his lack of defensive presence is starting to like weigh on not only like the players around him, but the organization as a whole. Like you saw a report come out that they were asking him to stop complaining to the refs, and shit like that. They're like, brother, don't put that comment up ever again. Dale, want to hear your thoughts about Luka, the finals, just anything. Just how's this shit been playing out in your mind?
It's played out kind of somewhat like how I thought it would, except for last night. I thought the Dallas Mavericks would win. But yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of the talk about easiest path and this guy got hurt, if this player played, if this happened and that happened. And it's like I get it. Like, but I'm not here to play the what if game. Like Threat been telling me all year, bro, like Boston gonna win a chip, Boston gonna win a chip. And I just kept pushing back saying, yeah, well, when they play close games in the playoffs, they gonna have to show me like that they not dumb. Bro, like Jaylen Brown said it last night, bro. Like, let's graduate. Like, those boys graduated through these playoffs. Like, so here in the finals, like, the path looks so easy because they stacked the deck. Like, they went and got talent. And bro, like, I hate that they was the ones that did it, bro. But like, that's what niggas up here been asking for, bro. Like, for a good 3 years now, dog. Like, something, bro. Like even when they was winning the Heat, like in terms of how it relates to the Heat, like when they was winning them games that first season, like I mean the first year of Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker, it was like, come on, y'all, like go get a Jeremy Grant, give him a little something. The way Boston went and got a Xavier Tillman, bro. Nigga hit the biggest shot of his career last night, hit a 3 in the corner, bro, that they needed. And so yeah, it looks easy. Like Boston is 1 game away, bro, from going 80-20 on the season. Like that's simple math. 80% winning percentage is insane, bro. Like in this NBA, and they dominating in the finals. And when you look at Dallas, like Josh Green, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Cleveland, like at some point, Luka and Kyrie was only going to be able to like cover up so much. And you can't cover up against a team like that. Like I was calling Minnesota some boneheads all year too, but I thought that they could go to the NBA Finals. They was boneheads, and Rudy Gobert is the biggest liability on defense. And now we get into a series in this NBA Finals where Luka is now the new Rudy Gobert. And that's how the Boston Celtics view him. The Minnesota Timberwolves let that boy off the hook. He was in no actions like against Minnesota for whatever reason. OKC and the Clippers did a good job, but Luka, like he was in no actions against Minnesota. But in this one, boy, they at his neck every single time. And Jason Kidd, I don't know why he has this switching defense for everything. Well, it tells me a lot about like the players that they're not smart enough. Their IQ isn't smart enough to do like either multiple things or read things on the fly. So maybe he just simplified it and like just switch everything. Especially because you added 2 players in Washington and Gafford in the middle of the season. Even though they played enough games together. But yeah, Luka been a liability, and it's not really just his defense for me. And the lack of effort there, it's the intangible shit. Like bro, I've been saying it for 2 years. He's too nice, bro, to be on this like yelling at his teammates, bro, yelling at like the coaching staff, like the crying to the officials. It's like, all right, but even at that, that gets to a point where it's like, bro, stop it. Like, bro, Jason Tatum is not crying to the officials. Like, that's telling. Like, I think that's telling. But yeah, the finals was played out like how I thought Boston was gonna win. I wasn't trying to say it publicly, but I believed it in my head the whole time. Like, and it just is what it is. They the best team in the league, and they have been since day one.
For sure. So with the Boston Celtics, bro, I agree with you that like I hated had to be them, but it's kind of like they went through all the steps that you would imagine that a legitimate championship team would go through. They built this team, like, and they went through fires and they went through wars and they lost. They paid their dues in order to have this moment. Even though some people may have viewed this as kind of like an opportunity for Dallas to kind of like shut that shit down. That's what a lot of people was hoping, especially Heat fans. Like, we were hoping that maybe Dallas would present a challenge for Boston that they couldn't overcome. But you're right, bro. Like, they've kind of like stacked the deck for themselves and they've made it look easier than it has been. I will play devil's advocate a little bit on behalf of like Luka Doncic, which is nasty work. Like, I'm prefacing this by saying I'm finna blame a black man and take up for a white man. But Kyrie Irving played a hell of a game last night. And Thread, I know that's your boy. He played a hell of a game last night, but Kyrie ain't showed up for much of the shit during this series either. How are you been looking at, the whole series in its totality, but specifically like Kyrie Irving role in them not being able to, pitch Boston in this series?
I feel like Luka and Kyrie have like this perfect symmetry going between them two. Like, so for instance, this whole playoff run, Kyrie would start off slow, and then Luka would start off fast, and then Kyrie would finish the game stunting. And then that's been their formula the whole playoff run. So I almost feel like, I hate to say this, but I almost feel like Kyrie went into this series with almost that same mentality, because we seen this from Kyrie before in 2018, where Game 1 and Game 2 in the finals against Golden State, he had 2 games under 20 points, and then he exploded in the back half of the series. I feel like he almost knew this was going to be a 7-game series, bro. So it's almost like, okay, he's collecting himself early on, and then boom, okay, let me gear up, let me rev up, and then put the pedal to the metal. And I feel like he kind of maybe expected them to be able to split, but they wasn't able to do that. And then he tried to put the pedal to the metal in Game 3, and it showed that clearly that's still not enough. It's almost like he's trying to preserve the gas tank. It seems like to me, dog, because he knows he's not in his prime. Let's keep it 100. So like, he can't approach the game the same way Luka Doncic can, where he emptying the clip from Game 1 to Game 7, from start of the game to the end of the game. He has to pace himself differently at this point in his career. So I feel like that was the mentality, and that's why we seen 2 different Kyrie Irvings. And I think he's gonna try to empty the clip again. Whether he'll be, good at it, whether he'll perform good, I don't know. Because it's kind of like their backs against the rope, 3-0, no team ever came back. But hey, it is what it is, right? Shout out to the Panthers. Yeah, big shout out to the Panthers. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to a couple white guys. Matthew Kachuk, my nigga Sasha Barkov and his big Samuel Reinhart. Big Eclair for the boys in the headlock. Shout out to Big Bob, probably gonna win MVP. I ain't gonna hold you.
Bro, I watched that nigga was out there looking like a Jabberwocky out there, spinning Rooney in his shit to start the ball, bro. Hey, bro.
There's some shit in that net.
Them boys is different, man. That's that. Speaking of the Panthers, that's how you construct a team. I hope the Miami Heat are taking lessons. They took a chance. They got rid of somebody they valued very highly, and they went. Hey, they went and got a better player and ran that shit up, bro. On God, look how them boys looked the last 3 years, from the President's Cup to last year in the finals, and then back in the finals this year, about to win the chip. That's how you run it up, bro. That's how you construct a roster. That's how you manage a team. That's how you capitalize on your best players. Window.
Hey, Trap, get out my bag, brother. Hey, brother, I do not get up here and pretend to know anything about ice soccer. I just go ahead and I root for them boy when they in the championship, and I'm fucking with them here. I'm in the vibe with everybody else. But circling back around to this series, and Threat, I'm coming to you first on this one, bro. Like, I want to take the pivot, the focus off of Dallas and kind of put it on Boston. I don't want to lean into the easy path shit, bro. But does that in any way taint this for anybody? Like, does this like the injuries? Does it taint it in any way, shape, fashion, or form for you?
Tatum said it earlier today, though. He said, "Boys said we got the easiest path, so only thing that we could do is run it back again next season and repeat." And I kind of agree with that. To me, honestly, I'm not with the easiest path things. Niggas gotta lace them up the same way. It's grown men on east side. Them boys was dominant from game 1 to game whatever 90 whatever that they're playing in, whatever. Them boys were dominant from start to finish, and dog, they never let their foot off the gas, bro. Like, they were never to be played with in any series. There was never a doubt in any series. Like, we're seeing one of the most dominant we're seeing one of the most dominant season runs of all time, and all niggas could think about is easy path. Them boys is fraudulent. This shit more fraudulent than the Bubbles finals. Bruh, boys gotta stop hating and just keep it 1K. This roster construction Boston got is elite, bruh. Like, them boys are fire from 1 through 5, and then that bench chipping in too. Like, them boys got pieces to the puzzle. Like, you not gonna see a roster construction like this, and probably no time soon. Shout out to Brad Stevens putting this shit together, whooping. New tweeted it earlier. He lapped that boy Pat Riley, bro. You got to keep it 1K. Hey, if anybody gonna keep it 1,000, gotta be, bro. Brad Stevens ran laps around your goat, bro. It just is what it is. Not my goat. That's your goat.
Well, look, though, like I agree with you that, like, there has to be some credit given to Boston. And I look, we want to hate on Boston just as much as we don't enjoy Boston winning. Like, I wish I could just, like, full on just hate on what they was doing, but I agree with Threat. Like, they took the necessary steps to become champions. They did what they were supposed to do to build a championship team and give themselves actually the best chance of winning the championship. And they're going to succeed. Kendall, is there any, like, tainting on this run because of the injuries or anything like that for you?
Nah, bro. Like, the fuck, like, they ain't got shit to do with me. Like, that's how I would feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not their business, bro. It's like Donovan Mitchell, when he got hurt, bro, like, nobody even noticed. Like, that shit was just out of nowhere. He just stopped, like, didn't play, like, the last 2 games of that series. But even, bro, like, I'm looking at it right now, bro. They went 2-1 against the Cavs this season in the regular season. The one game they lost, Donovan Mitchell didn't play, and Dean Wade was stupid in the fourth quarter. They beat Dallas both times, bro. Once by 28, another time by 9. They beat the Indiana Pacers once, 155-104. Then they lost once. They lost twice to them, 133-131, bro. And another one, they lost 122-112, and that was an in-season tournament game. And the Miami Heat, they beat us all 3 times. Come on, y'all. Like, the teams that they played in the regular, the teams that they beat along the way, they lost to them a combined 3 times in the regular season. The thing is, bro, like, we've been waiting for them boys to fall on their face. And I just saw, like, a tweet, like, not too long ago, probably like an hour ago. Them boys is like 6-0 in crunch time, bro. in crunch time playoff games this run.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, because we was talking about it last night on the playback. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Basement Playback at playback.tv/the Basement Sports Network. We've been doing some of the finals games, so y'all tap in with us over there. But we was talking about that during the game last night. Boston was actually doing the thing. Like they was doing the bonehead thing, giving up the lead or whatever.
They was folding, bro.
Yeah, and I think Dallas just kind of left. They left a bunch of points on the table. They had what was like 5 straight possessions where it was like ending in either a turnover or a foul or some shit like that, where they just didn't score, and there was like opportunities to take the lead. But like, look, dog, like,
hey man, come on now.
Hey man, hey brother, the nasty man, put it up one time.
That boy be stunting.
That boy shut out. That boy say no whites.
Hey, he said, "Hey, they may take away my likes, but we ain't serving no whites." We want it off the pop. Here you go. Here you go. Yes, sir.
Sure. Appreciate you, nasty man. but yeah, though, like I don't know though. I just feel like too many people are trying to find something other than what it is for Boston in terms of like this championship. They're trying to find any like way to put an asterisk on this, and you can't.
Kristaps the missed how many games?
Most of them, all of them. To be honest with you,
like Kristaps the missed a lot of games in the playoffs, bro.
And to be honest with you, bro, like when he was playing, bro, you saw how impactful that man was for this team, bro. Like we can make fun of him as a player all we want to, but he moved the needle for the Boston Celtics.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of like as a player, bro. But Boston is just a very well constructed team, bro. Like and you gotta
he's played in 6 of the 15 playoff games so far. Bro, so they damn near doing it without him, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. Last question on this finals before we move on to like some Heat focused topics. Who's your finals MVP so far? I want to hear who that is.
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first.
Jaylen Brown. It's gonna be Brown and Tatum. Tatum would have to pull. Tatum would have to stunt this game coming up. They would have to lose that game, and then he would have to stunt again to take the Finals MVP away from Jaylen Brown. It was close. I'm gonna let Kendall get his shit off because Kendall brought some shit to my attention, but it was close. But I think at the end of the day, Jaylen Brown lapped them boys, so it's gonna be Jaylen.
Yeah, Kendall,
which is crazy.
Yeah, right now I'm leaning Jaylen Brown. I will say, like, I don't think it's that crazy because I think them boys the perfect 1A, 1B. Like, they are what the Clippers tried to build.
I just want. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go. I just wanted to say it was. I only said it was crazy because at the start of the season, on God, niggas on Twitter said Jaylen Brown's contract was the worst in the NBA. I swear to God, y'all can pull up the tweets. Everybody was saying that, and that was a viral tweet. They said he got the worst contract because he was the highest paid player in the NBA. NBA history. So for him to be Eastern Conference Finals MVP and then NBA Finals MVP, is that a crazy contract? It can't be.
Like to be the first $300 million player, and to be able to like to do what like he's one win away and like with another like good performance of doing, like, bro, that's the way you shut niggas up. But yeah, going into game 3, I actually had Drew Holiday. Because Drew Holiday was like shooting like 60, 40, 100. He had 0 turnovers. He was averaging like 19, 9, and 4 or 5. And he had shut down Kyrie Irving. So up to that, like through those 2 games, I had Drew Holiday.
On some Iggy type vibes?
No. I mean, he had the points too. 60% shooting is crazy, bro. Like 65%, like in the finals, like.
And he did stun in game 2.
Yeah, and he stunned it in game 2. I think he was their best player in game 2. So it's like Jaylen had the game 1. Jaylen was the best game 1. Drew Holiday was the best game 2. And then he had defended Kyrie better than Jaylen was defending Luka. So I was like, I'm giving the edge to Drew. And then I told Thread, I was like, yeah, I think that Tatum gonna stun on the road. because Tatum, besides the Miami series, because he was going up against 13, who is the best defender in the world, he has stunted on the road in almost every like road playoff game in this run. So he got off to the hot start, and then Jaylen Brown. I looked up, and Jaylen Brown had 24 points, and I don't remember like when he had scored all them points, bro. I was like, this nigga had 6.5. So, and like going into the fourth, he had like 24 or some shit. But yeah, and then Jaylen Brown made that big pull-up jumper. So I'm going Jaylen Brown. Like Threat said, to me, I don't think it would take a loss. It would take like a 50-point Tatum game or 40-point Tatum game and like a 15-point like Jaylen Brown game. And then I think that'll be like, that's when it'll get very, very like, it'll get finicky. Like, I think the voters will go so far as to like try to make sure them boys are like co-MVP, even though it's 11 votes.
Finicky like KD Steph type beat.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think that air is in that building.
That wasn't finicky, bro. I felt like that was definitive that KD should have been.
Yeah, KD should have got it. I think Steph was the best player on that team because I think KD only ate because he was playing with Steph. But I think KD obviously was the best player in the series. But I see people like trying to throw that out there, and shout out to the Mavs for trying it.
So for the series, Jaylen Brown is averaging 24.3 points. Jason Tatum's averaging 21.7. That would mean that if Jason Tatum got 50 points in that game, I don't think that would take his PPG up higher than Jaylen Brown's if Jaylen Brown scored 15.
Wow, yeah, he need 2 games.
Bro,
yeah, I think he'd need 2 games.
That's damn near a 2 game. That's 2 games right there. A
50?
A 50 ball is 2 games.
Yeah, but not enough to make up for like if Jaylen Brown get no 15 points, it's not enough to make up that scoring difference.
I think I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. Because the thing is, Tatum has been the playmaker on offense, to his credit, but Jaylen Brown been the defender on defense. That's why, like, bro, it's
Jason
like,
Tatum is leading in assists.
Yeah, bro, it's like, and they both like got the same amount of turnovers. I think I looked at it this morning, and I was just like, how close is this actually? Like,
you spot on, brother.
Yeah, bro, like it's
exact
close.
Same.
But I gotta give it to Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown done had like the splash plays. Like he got a dunk on Gafford. He had a dunk last night. He had the pull up jumper over Kleba to really like put a dagger in him. So I would go Jaylen Brown. But them boys, that 1-2 punch, like they done put in the work, and that shit clicking right now for them.
All right, so I'm gonna take a few of these questions from out of state. If y'all got some questions, then make sure y'all ask them. Y'all know we'll put them up here. If you attach some money to them, we'll definitely get to them. Van Lee, he said, "Does Miami need to build to beat Boston when we have their ticket already?" We don't have their ticket. They beat us 5-1 in the playoffs this year, or 4-1 in the playoffs this year. But I don't think you build a team to beat Boston. Like
you don't.
You build a team to beat everybody. You got to build a team that's going to beat, because you can come out of the East and still get your ass kicked by whatever comes out of the West and have like 3 or 4 Western Conference teams that you might not match up well against. You got to build a team that you believe is competitive, has an identity, and an identity that can win you a championship. Threat, you look like you had a little bit of,
Well, I feel like he was hinting at when we have the ticket as in over the years, and we kind of got the formula to defeat them, as opposed to like this recent year.
So I agree. Like if Miami has requisite talent, I believe that there's such a large coaching disparity between Joe Mazzulla and Spo that like if the talent is relatively close, we can beat Boston. Like it's not a question to me. Like I know we can beat Boston if we have good enough talent. But good enough talent just to beat Boston ain't good enough talent to beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what my thinking is with it.
I agree 100%. The problem for me is how the fuck do we catch up in the talent department? Because I feel like they are laps ahead of us as far as talent goes. With our main guy, our leading scorer, again older in age. I mean, we have Bam, who's in the midst of his prime, and then what after that? We don't definitively even know who's going to be on this roster after that.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into kind of like figuring out like how we should approach this. Like, what should Miami kind of be focusing on, like moving forward? Somebody mentioned earlier that it appears that Donovan Mitchell is going to re-sign with the Cavs on a 3-year extension. I don't know how true or false that is, but like, let's go with the premise that Donovan Mitchell is off the table. Kendall, what's your pivot? Like, how do you go about how do you think Miami should go about building this team? But yes, D-Law, just to answer your question explicitly, I think Denver would have been a better matchup for the Celtics than the Mavs, bro.
I think so as well, but I think they would have beat them too, because I think that Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, like I think that and the bench. I think
they got Jason Tatum. They would have Jason Tatum guarding Aaron Gordon.
I don't know who would have guarded who, bro, but like
because Jason Tatum's playing the 4 right now.
Well, he's actually guarding. Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's guarding, so I think his matchup would be.
Yeah, it would be
Aaron Gordon.
But I don't know. I think it would have just been too much pressure on Jokic and more so Murray to like not have a bad game. And I think Boston has the defenders to like shake up Jamal Murray and like smaller guards, I would say. That's why I think Kyrie kind of struggled against them. Like they have enough bodies to throw. Like Kyrie can't really take advantage too much, like in the foot speed department, like too much against them. But I want to just talk on that we have their ticket. Brother, listen. You see this right here? That's the boss. That's the ticket. Brother, if they win one more game, that ticket is going up in flames. That becomes a new team. Bruh, it's kind of like, it reminds me of football with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. And niggas like to talk about like the Bengals having the Chiefs number and shit. It's like, yeah, they was beaten when they had Tyreek Hill. But once they got rid of that nigga and they got a defense, and Mahomes said, all right, I got to become this field general and like make sure everybody eats, like they became a different team and the Bengals don't beat them no more. Like this nigga had a bad ankle.
That's a great point, bro. Like, because we're no longer facing like Boston that's trying to learn how to. That Boston shit is over with. We're facing championship pedigree Boston Celtics, who will have more championships than any member of the Miami Heat.
Yeah, bro. So it's like I don't want to hear that. But what was the question that you asked?
It's kind of like, where's Miami's pivot? Like, let's assume Donovan Mitchell's off the table. Kind of, where does Miami pivot from here? Like, what's the next step? Like, we ain't got to go too deep into the future. Like, what's step one of kind of turning this shit around to being a competitive roster?
Bro, it's a fuck nigga fee for sure that I think they will charge you. Because it's the Atlanta Hawks. But bro, like that roster, you have to poach something off of that roster. Preferably 2. And for me, like Trae Young, like, isn't my number 1. It's a combination of 2 players. If the Heat found a way to get DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter, brother, we're moving somewhere. Like, or it's like you have to find situations where a team is like in limbo and they fuck, bro, and like they have talent on their team, but that talent can't win. The Chicago Bulls is another one, bro. Like if you can package Rozier and Duncan Robinson in the first round and our first round pick for Alex Caruso and Zach LaVine, and you keep Tyler Herro, and then you add a pick to him and you send him somewhere else, and you get 2 more players, and you just take these big ass contracts of Tyler, Duncan, Terry, and you like combine them, get 2 players, and use Tyler to get 2 smaller players, bro. Like I think that's the way to go, because if Donovan Mitchell don't happen, it don't happen. But I think you need to get 2-way high level role players, because I think those are the type, like bro, like Derek White scored 38 on us, bro. I was in the building and I took out Kristaps in retaliation. But yeah, like you have to, like LaVine, his stock is so low. You're not gonna get Trae and Hunter. Like Trae make too much money. Like so, but because personally, like I don't want to pay Jimmy, but I want to keep Jimmy here because I think that's how you're gonna win a championship with him on the roster. But you need players, bro. Like you need something that symbolizes that 2020 team. That's what you need to try to get back to. And I think DeJounte Murray kind of gets to that. Brandon Ingram, I'm good on that. Because
that's more my bag.
Because he works in the same area, and I guess DeAndre Hunter does too. But like DeAndre Hunter's a catch and shoot. He could catch and shoot threes. DeJounte Murray, like he's a two-way point of attack defender. I think he could be better than what he's shown up to this point.
Yeah.
I think that's the start. That's the pivot, bro. Like
I think like that's intriguing though, because I never thought about the Atlanta thing beyond kind of like Trae Young added to this roster. But that's along the lines of the trade that you propose is along the lines of what I'm thinking about. Kind of you go get DeAndre Hunter and DeJounte Murray and you pair them with Bam. Now all of a sudden your team has an identity. They finna lock your ass up. Like that's what they're gonna do, and that's what they're gonna hang their hats on, which is what Miami, typically wants to do. I heard conversations on DeAndre Hunter and how he's kind of underperformed based on where he was taken or whatever. But I think you take that out of the equation, especially considering that you're losing a player like Caleb Martin this summer. You possibly going to lose Highsmith.
He plays so well in the playoffs, bro.
He's solid.
If you look at DeAndre Hunter's like playoff numbers, bro, he is a solid player, bro.
He's in the same mold of like Herb Jones, them like them the type of players that you would add to this roster threat. What would be like your initial pivot? Should Miami kind of like miss out on this Donovan Mitchell thing?
The boy Dell Snap. I mean, that nigga couldn't word it any perfectly with the two that he threw out there with Caruso and Levine and DeAndre Hunter and fucking DeJounte Murray. I'm good with either two. For me, I can't even pick a 1A, a 1 or 2. For me, that's 1A, 1B. Honestly, for me, for the offseason moves, if we don't land Donovan. I don't know how anybody can watch this playoff run right here, this NBA Finals, with the way Luka Doncic just performed on the defensive end and bang the table for Trae Young. Because I think Trae Young is a worse defender than fucking Luka Doncic by 100%, and he's not as good offensively as Luka either. So we'll be in the same damn predicament where our best player is going to be hunted on the other side of the court, and then when we take him off of the floor, we gonna be in the same situation of what the team looked like this year and in the year before. I don't think Trae Young could be the answer at all. I mean, you know what I mean by that. But I think we'll be in a huge predicament in that fourth quarter where we feel like we can't get a stop, and niggas is putting Trae Young's in actions more than the Bang Bus Bros, bro. Like, he's gonna get flipped any and every which way, bro. Like, he's gonna be Tiana Trump on that basketball court, brother. Like, I don't want to watch that, dog. I refuse to watch him go down like that, brother. Not on my roster. And I know Spo will yank his ass. He doesn't give a fuck who you is. He will sit Trae Young's ass down on the bench. So for me, it can't be Trae. It got to be DeJounte, or it got to be the Levine route, bro. Either or. That's the only route for me. If it's not Don Juan, of course.
Hey, bro, before you go, Trap. The reason why I'm gonna say no to this is because you want to keep one of these boys from us, like separate for another move, bro. Because we have 2 to 3 picks that we can trade in the off season, like. You want to keep most likely Herro out of it. That's why I said DeJounte Murray. Or maybe you do Herro and Duncan for DeJounte Murray and Hunter and like a first round pick and see. Just see, bro. Like, but I can't. You can't put all 3 of them and just get Trae and Hunter back. Like, that's not.
You definitely got to defend your way to a chip, because we seen some of the greatest offensive firepowers put together on a roster, and them boys fall short year in and year out. You seen it this year with the Suns. You seen it with the Brooklyn Nets team. None of that shit matters, bro. If you can't get a stop.
Mavericks right now, bro.
You watching? I would say you watching it with the Mavericks.
Yeah, you watching with the Mavericks right now. One of the greatest backcourts we seen in the last couple decades, bro. So
would it be a stretch to say Luka's the best offensive player in basketball?
I don't think so.
I think he's.
I think he's 1 or 2, like undeniable.
He's undeniably one of the best top 2 players in like. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
2016,
like, you have to defend
the Warriors 73-9. I don't even think they scored. I don't think they scored like the last 3-4 minutes of Game 7. Like,
lock up.
You're gonna have to lock up at some point.
So we got a start over trade Jimmy Butler for players and draft picks. I'm kind of take my cues from the chat a little bit. I'm honestly not starting at trading Jimmy Butler. Like that's not route one for me. It never has been. Like, look, I've said trade Jimmy Butler. I'm not opposed to trading him. Should the situation kind of present itself or the opportunity present itself, but to start the next phase of this of whatever they're going to be next year, I don't think you start at Jimmy Butler. Kendall, you feel like there's any plan where starting at Jimmy Butler is the best route?
The only way that's the best route, bro. The only way that's the best route is if Goran Dragic has informed you that in 2 years, Luka Doncic is leaving Dallas. Luka has 2 more years before he has a player option that he obviously gonna opt out of. Like, bro, like I'm not trading Jimmy unless I know for a fact, hey,
I'm getting something.
Yeah, bro. Like I will, like, bro, and niggas talk about trade Jimmy and start over, bro. To me, I think that's a dangerous game because how that might affect Bam. Like that's been the best player he's ever played with. Yeah, they don't play off of each other like that, on offense. But that's his dog who he has success with. They may not be, like buddy and all this, like in our face with it. But like, when them boys step on that, yes, he can, Van Lee, because the way that boy gonna be throwing them lobs and having Bam average 25, like he
shoot that ball.
Spo is not gonna be worried about that defense, bro. Trust you me.
We play Tyler Herro right now. He will build around that shit.
Like I don't want to hear about no other person defense we bringing onto the team.
Trae Young, okay, I can take the Trae Young defense
because he has to be on the court.
Like, yeah, that's a dramatic step back, like defensively. Yeah. Like, but Luka, bro, anybody in the same hemisphere as Tyler Herro defensively, but got that much on him offensively, bro, Spo and I have a problem with it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then the Jimmy thing, like, if you trade him, bro, in my opinion, you gotta wax them.
Trevor Lawrence just got a bag.
You gotta win that trade.
5 years, 275, 55.
Oh,
200 mil guaranteed.
Holy shit!
God. Dog! Ooh.
Hey, listen. We'll get right back to the basketball talk in a second, guys. But I want to ask these boys a specific question. How does that news impact Tua's legacy?
Hey, brother, listen. I'm gonna let Trent go first. I'll piggyback off that one.
Brother, a lot of these boys is getting paid, and that guy over there, that Samoan man, has not been paid yet. And as long as he hasn't been paid, brother, it's a win. 7 days a week and twice on Sundays.
But you'll get some who will argue that Tua's a better player than Trevor Lawrence.
No, we seen them go head up, and Tua had a better team, and I remember what happened. They've also played each other in the NFL, and Tua and Trevor Lawrence had a worse situation, and we saw what happened. But listen, that is crazy. Yes, Trap, I agree. Yeah, bro. Like, no, we're not doing this, bro. 200 mil guaranteed. You know what's crazy?
I'm not a fan of Trevor, to be real with you. By the
I know you're not, but this is my last year. I believe. Bro.
I'm holding on. I'm a little.
Bro, I ain't true freshmen don't do what that cracker do. Bro. Like true freshmen don't.
Brother, I was in Doak Campbell on the sideline watching him live.
Bro, nigga, motherfuckers do not do that, bro. That's why I was just like, hold on, Sunshine.
Insane, I tell you.
Yeah. I just think that puts Doug Peterson on the hot seat, and that puts their number one target. Their number one target as a head coach is obviously Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions. And if Doug Peterson don't make some shit shake now that boy got paid, he gonna be out of there after this year. But the market is not the market, Marcus Hunter. The market is for idiots. The market is for dummies who play themselves into doing bad business. C, Miami Heat, Tyler Herro contract. C, Miami Dolphins Tua contract if they play themselves. You, brother, listen,
He gonna get a similar contract to this shit, dog.
bro.
Oh.
Maybe, but
Tua.
how I see it is, bro. Like two things. One, they said Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars were farther apart on contract negotiations than Tua and the Dolphins. That's what Rap Sheet said like 2-3 weeks ago. And second, Patrick Mahomes' average contract is $45 million. Josh Allen's is 43. Tua is a combined 1-9 against those two. Brother, I wouldn't pay him $38 million. I would pay him $35 million per year. And if he don't like it, he got to kick rocks, bro. The market is not the market.
We're gonna pivot back to this because I feel dirty having this conversation with that one being here. And I want to make sure that people following our Dolphins creators. Y'all follow Juan and Kachi Chisholm. Those are our guys, and we're pretty sure we're gonna get them back on the channel sometime soon to talk about shit like this. Let's turn back to this Heat shit, and I want to talk about Tyler Herro because, again, I'm going to continue to say this. I said it the minute that they put ink to paper. The minute Tyler Herro's contract dry, it became the worst contract on Miami Heat. I still believe it's true. I think that his value has only decreased with time. And I'm not expecting some massive haul back for Tyler Herro, but I associate any move with Miami Heat getting better with Tyler Herro no longer being on this roster. Threat, is there like a world where the Miami Heat can get better and still have Tyler Herro here?
I don't see it, dog. I don't. You can't convince me as a front office, me as a fan, that you're serious about contending and winning a championship if Tyler Herro's still on this roster, bro. There's avenues for us to get better as a team with the money that he has and the role players that are available or that can become available. There's avenues for us to get better athletically, defensively, IQ-wise. There's so many avenues for us to take. Why are we still gonna sit on Tyler Herro? That you're not serious about winning if Tyler Herro's still on this roster. I don't see a roster with us that includes Tyler Herro and being a successful team. I'm sorry. Not with the money that he's bound to make. Not with that money that you can put towards other assets, bro. I'm sorry. You're not serious to me.
So I feel like Miami can do like more creative things when we're talking about money specifically. Like you can trade Terry, you can trade Duncan and package them with them other round picks and then get some players. I'm just trying to figure out, like, is there anything that they can do kind of like that? And Tyler Herro still remains here. Like, what could they find some type of players in the price range of Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, 2 firsts, whatever, keep Tyler here and field a team that's better than what they have right now? You can go ahead and get there.
Honestly, no. Not maybe Dale has answered, but no. And I'm not gonna think hard to think about something that they could put together. To me, it's the Boston Celtics Marcus Smart situation. You know what I'm saying? You got a nigga who's been here for multiple years, a fan favorite for some, for a lot. Look that nigga dead in his eye like the Boston Celtics treated Marcus Smart and ship his ass on and go get some valuable players with that.
But they're not gonna do it like the Celtics, brother, because the Celtics lied to that nigga and said you safe from trades and punted that nigga as soon as they got a chance, bro. Like, I think that ship has sailed. It sailed on October 12th, 2021, I think it was, or 2022. Like, when he signed that extension, bro, like Earl said, dog, like, I would say yes to this if they let this man hit the restricted free agent market. The fact that Tyler Herro didn't hit restricted free agency and they bet against themselves, and they probably made his average salary go from like what would probably have been 60. I think Tyler Herro would be paid less than Duncan Robinson if he went to restricted free agency.
That'll be a year. That'll be a year removed from his. So it'll be the year after.
It would have been this past offseason, bro.
The year after. This past offseason?
He would have hit restricted free agency the same time as Austin Reeves, brother. Yes.
If they didn't hit, You talking about the free agency before this one, before this past season?
No, brother. His first 4 years he was in the league. This is his
Right.
5th year. The extension kicked in this year, so his rookie contract was up. If they would have just they would have extended his last 2 player options on his rookie contract. He would have hit restricted free agency before the start of this year, at the same time as Austin Reeves, bro. That's why it's so damning to me that, bro, like they was telling us that Austin Reeves was gonna get $100 million on the open market, and nigga said from where?
I disagree that he would have got paid less than Duncan Robinson. I think it would have been more in the line with like $21 million that Tyler would have got paid if he had
maybe, but okay, maybe more on average, but Duncan 5 for 90. I think Tyler would have been like 4 for 80.
Well, what's Duncan's age this season? Off season.
How old is Duncan?
Yeah,
I think Duncan turned 31. Let me Google it right quick.
What?
Yeah, I think Duncan just turned 30 this year.
Yeah, he did turn 30. God damn, he old as shit.
Yeah, Duncan's 30.
That boy old, but I just think that like Tyler would have probably been like a 4 for 83.
That nigga said what? I'm sorry, dog. That shit was shocked. I hit him with the Kevin Hart. Damn.
Bro, like, I did not know Duncan was that old, bro. Like I thought he was like 28, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, like, but
30.
Yeah, I think Tyler hit in the open market, bro. But bro, think about it, bro. He would have hit restricted free agency after missing a finals run, bro.
Brother,
that price,
like the fact that I know like what Austin Reeves went through this offseason, knowing that him and Tyler were in conversation about who was fucking better, like this offseason.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's what. How much Austin Reeves ended up getting? He ended up getting 19.
4 for 63 or some shit. Bro, Austin Reeves is not paid. Well, he is, but like
he is, really. But not really. Like
he's not white man paid.
He ain't getting 28. He ain't getting 28 M's.
Bro, Austin Reeves got a 4 for 53. Tyler would have got like a 4 for 7. Bro, I'm telling y'all, boy. Bro, that's why I think it was a fuck up. And because they didn't let him hit restricted free agent, there's no way he could be on this team and this team be successful. Like you said the word better. Technically, they could be better. Because these niggas.
That's a good point, Hassan. After the Warriors dump Poole, would have made Herro stock even lower.
Yes, it does. It makes it even harder to move him.
It would have gave him a blueprint. It would have gave him a blueprint for what like a player like him makes and is going for. Like,
but that's the thing, bro. He's so overpaid. Like, you could have had him on, like, this would have been the first year of a 4-year deal, bro. Like on a movable contract, somewhere around no more than what Terry get, which is like 21, but like no less than like what Duncan get. Like maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they played themselves, bro. So there's no way that motherfucker could stay here and this team be successful, bro. Because he don't play defense. You gonna have an expensive ass 6-man?
He ain't a 6-man.
The deal that you could finesse, the deal you could finesse is the Terry and Duncan for Caruso, Levine, and a pick, like, or we send them a pick or whatever. Yeah, you do that, but now you're gonna have Tyler Herro, who's an expensive ass 6-man. Like, for what?
Yeah, I think you used a very intriguing word in terms of like a phrase in terms of like a movable contract. I think Tyler Herro's contract has become less and less movable the more they've doubled down on it. Like it feels like like even Pat Riley calling him like doubling down on the fact that he's a starter. That view that they have of him is making him almost impossible to move. Because at what point does selling hope become you trying to get an elite level fleece off of somebody? Like, who are you trying to fool? Like, you can't keep selling people something that they've already seen. So that's, I don't know. You say you compare Duncan Robinson to Tobias Harris' bad contract. Duncan Robinson's contract is not as bad as it was. Like,
yeah.
If Duncan Robinson played like he played this year throughout the duration of that contract, it'll be a fine contract. I feel like
I don't think Tobias Harris's contract was bad either. Like, it just was what it was for when they were there. Like,
I'm about to say that's the argument people making for Tyler Herro. Like that was the market.
no, I'm not saying that. Like, Tobias Harris' contract looks bad because Tobias Harris like kept moving up the pecking order. Like, as the people above him started to fade and like get traded out or sent out. Like, it went from Ben Simmons supposed to be the number 2 guy, like Jimmy was there, and then Jimmy got traded, and then it was like, okay, Ben, now you do more. And then Ben was like, I ain't even trying to be on all that big dog. Like, and so they shipped him out and brought Harden in, and then here comes Maxey, and then it was just like Harden was like, yeah, I ain't fucking with y'all. I want to leave. Okay, boom. And then Tobias Harris' name just kept moving up. Like, that nigga, like, I don't think like his contract didn't hold Philly back from doing anything. Let's put it that way.
You say keep it a bucket with me. The Mitchell thing not happening, is it?
At all.
I don't think so, brother. Like I think anybody still holding out hope for that Donovan Mitchell thing. Like you probably need to process that it's not gonna happen. Move on, which is why we kind of like doing this now. Like,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. My fault.
No. You feel free.
I feel like your best bet is to look at Chicago and Atlanta, bro. Like if those aren't your 1 and 2 realistic trade moves, then I don't know what to tell you as far as 1, your window for winning, and then 2. Wait, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say, but we'll say 1. Keep it at that.
Well, like your window for winning becomes smaller, and then your pick of teams, like it becomes smaller too. But I think Kendall had like along the right lines where you go try and bargain bin hunting in a sense. So like we talking about Atlanta and Chicago right now, but Detroit is another one that you can pivot to. Look and see what they got out there. What's up?
Let me ask y'all this. The 2 moves that Kendall presented, the Levine and Caruso and the DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray move, is that equivalent to a Drew Porzingis move, or is it better than the Drew Porzingis move?
I think it will be it'll be better, actually, to be honest with you. For Miami specifically, I think it'll be better because I think in DeJounte that's tough. The Atlanta move feels like it'll be better. The other one feels like it'll be the same. The Chicago move feels like it'll be the same. Because I'm saying, like, with Atlanta, you're getting a lead guard and you're getting a wing who you can replace. It's essentially an upgrade over Caleb Martin. With the Chicago move, you're getting 2 guards. And you're replacing your guard rotation, but you still have front court things that you probably need to hash out and work out too, bro. I feel like you're addressing 2 needs with the Atlanta and only 1 combined need with Chicago, if that makes sense. Kendall, what was you about to say, bro?
I look at the Chicago one would be closer to Boston to me because Caruso is interesting because I think Murray is like obviously closer to Drew, like offensively. Well, Drew is closer to Murray offensively than Caruso is closer to like Drew Holiday. But like Levine scoring, like he's a big scoring punch, and then it's like the Hunter and what's his dude name? Murray is kind of like Drew Holiday and Derek White. Like, it's how I would look at it, even though Derek White wasn't acquired this offseason. But like 2, like they can go get you like 15 to 18. Like they gonna play good defense. Like I think they can play good defense here. But I think the upside, obviously, which is an X factor, which Levine would be, because he has star potential, and he's like in shaky right now. That kind of reminds me of Kristaps Porzingis, even though they play 2 completely different positions.
You think the upside with the Chicago move is higher?
Right away, yeah. Like as in next season, because you only gonna have Caruso for 1 year.
Yeah, but I think the value.
Wait, hold on. My bad. My main point about that. My main point is why I think the upside with the Chicago one is higher, because I don't think you would have to give up Jaime Jaquez or Jovic to get Caruso and Levine. I think you're gonna have to give up Jovic or Jaime to get like DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter. You ain't getting both of them without giving up one of them young boys. Like, but I think you can from Chicago though.
Okay, if that's the logic, then I agree that if you can, the more things that you can keep in a move like this that isn't
Right.
for like a super duper star, the more pieces that you can keep in house, the better. I, I don't know. I just feel like the upside with the Atlanta move is higher because I feel like the defensive floor is significantly higher by adding those two to your roster.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I agree.
I think a quad defensive a defensive quadrant, we'll say, of DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. We looking at top 3 defense in the league type vibes to me. If Jimmy's engaged and if Jimmy locked in or whatever. What you about to say? You on mute, brother?
You muted.
Oh, I would say I think that would probably be that would be the best defensive team like in the league, in my opinion. Like because definitely. Like you said, I think them two would make Jimmy Butler so much better on defense because of his age, obviously. Like
he dropped down the pecking order of like kind of who he needs to guard or whatever, and that as opposed to like trying to hide Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier, it's like we putting Jimmy Butler on your 4th best scorer, like, and that is advantage us. And to the point about people like talking about we should match up with Boston or whatever, like. Doesn't that Atlanta move kind of allow us the ability to do that? Like,
with that 4 quadrant, who are you hunting? Who are you hunting on in that 4?
Nico got hard now, and Nico got hard. I ain't gonna hold
on God.
Nico got hard. Yeah, like,
and if you put in a
DeAndre Hunter got a 7'2" wingspan, DeJounte Murray got a 6'10" wingspan. Yeah, bro. If you give Spo them two, like DeJounte 27, DeAndre Hunter is how old? Like 25, maybe. Like he from Tyler draft, so like.
And so, like, that kind of be my point, though. Like, if Miami's not going to get kind of the alpha score archetype that we're looking for, then I think you lean into not just defensive people. Don't go get Haywood Highsmiths, bro. Don't do that. Go get two-way basketball players that are real NBA players and, like, that lean defense. If that is your bill, then lean defense. I don't give a shit. Just get me players who can play defense and hit corner threes and catch and shoot situations. And if you get one that can dribble, then cool. What's up, Kendall?
But what's key about in comparing these, because I agree with the Atlanta part in terms of raising the defense. But what about the Tyler in the Chicago one? If you use him, because you in that, I think you keep Jovic, Jaime, and then if you move Tyler.
You upgrade. You getting upgraded Tyler. Like that's what you're getting in Zach LaVine. You getting upgraded.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, but you can move Tyler for like another like piece or two.
Or you talk about if you keep Tyler in the thing. Oh, because you're assuming Tyler Hero's gone in the DeJounte.
In a separate deal.
No. I'm saying like if we trade with Atlanta, you're assuming Tyler Hero's gone there. But if we trade with Chicago, you're assuming that we can keep Tyler Herro and then move him on. I think that's another beautiful way to build out the roster. Like. You're replacing Tyler with a better version of him. You're getting Caruso, who can also be pretty impactful defensively. He's an elite defender. I'll give him that title. And then you can use Tyler Herro to kind of get you whatever you lacking. So you can go use him to go get another elite wing or some help in your front court rotation.
You think you can get like a Zach Collins and something else from the Spurs maybe for I
think Zach Collins can be had, but like, do you want him? Like that's kind of.
I don't know nothing about him. I just know he a front court player, bro. Like,
yeah,
on a bad team. Like he was the first person I thought about.
Yeah, I feel like San Antonio is going to be one of them teams that got to come up with one of their like young guns. So they probably not going to come off of Desmond Vassell, but like Keldon Johnson. Might be somebody that can be had. So you know what I mean? So like I'm cool with a Keldon Johnson type move or whatever. Bring him in as some bench score or whatever. I don't know though. Like this not my bag. If y'all want to hear more in tune with kind of the X's and O's transactional type shit, y'all listen to the regular host of the Random Scrub Heat podcast. My dude LJ Casgun, Hot Take Harry, and George will all be back next week. Or whenever they decide to do it. This was a fun 2 episodes for the Kang Gang to get on here, give those guys a break. Let us come on here and talk our shit a little bit. But it is time for us to wrap this shit up. So, Kangs, we're going to give y'all final words before we get up out of here. Threat, final words about anything that we've talked about today or anything that we missed.
I'm not going to lie. I'm stuck on the Dale trades, bro. I think no G shit. I think that shit is a game changer, bro. And I think because I've been talking to that boy since the start of the offseason last year, bro. I said if we don't land Dame, bro, like I'm done. Like I'm mentally I'm checked out with the team. I'm checked out. Like because for me personally, there's no other option. There's no other avenue for us to pivot to. So the reality of these trades happening, especially with the way those two teams are starting to fumble out, like that kind of piques my interest back into the team if they're able to pull off those two moves. Well, obviously the pairing of both. So I mean, that's new life for me, honestly. So I'm stuck on these trades, honestly.
Yeah, they are very like intriguing concepts to kind of like play around with. Stan, we don't give a fuck about Adam Barra, to be honest with you, brother. Like, if he want to host the spaces, he's more than welcome. And you are more than welcome to join him and talk about whatever it is that he want to talk about. But like, there's no current plan for us to like get into spaces with him. But like, if he want to do one, like he's more than welcome. He's in the group chat. He can just say it. But if we gonna do one, we'll let you know. Kendall, final words.
Hey y'all, I'm finna count them out for y'all. Let me see. Royal, let me see. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 of Saturdays.
I knew that's where he was going.
We are 10 Saturdays away from the return of college football. Listen, transaction season me, because the next 5 weeks gonna fly. What happened to that time? We going to the swamp, and I need Cam to put 5 of them things on their head. Fuck all this basketball shit.
PS doesn't say y'all doing anything for the draft.
Hell
brother,
no, nigga.
Brother,
We talk about 25-year-old victories. Owners.
Bro, I'm just gonna be all the way 100 with y'all, brother. We don't be knowing what we finna do, bro. Like we decide one day that we finna do something, and then we get up and we do it, brother. That is the advantage of having your own goddamn YouTube channel. We can just choose when to stream. We don't have plans to do nothing for the draft. But if you donate me $200 in the next 5 minutes, I'll do a draft show for you. In the meantime and in between time, thank you guys in the comments for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to both of the members of the Kang Gang. It's more of them, but I like these two members. My boy Kang Threat, my boy Kang Kendall. Oh, and Kang Justin. My bad, Justin. My bad. We won't see y'all next time on this podcast, but make sure y'all tune in for Struggle Mill starting at 7:30. And y'all be on the lookout on the Basement's Twitter page for any content that we plan on doing. Justin, can you please play the video?
Talk to that boy. Nice.
Last time I told that nigga to play the video, he told me no. So like I'm trying.